All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Happy Monday. Happy rainy Monday, at least it is here where I live. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream, not Farming Sim 22. For those of you who are looking forward to returning to the farm, we're back in the air today. We're departing from Gulfport-Biloxi here on runway 32. We're going to depart, head over to our first VOR DME at PCU. Our second one there at RQR, and then we're going to head to our first RNAV point here at Ibeki, and then through Goset and on to Hogtow, and then we'll be landing on runway 4 left. There is a localizer DME here if we want to tune into that. If we want, we can. It's not required or necessary, I don't think. It says it's supposed to be about a 2-hour flight. Now, here's what we're going to try today. I have turned on basically the possibility of engine stress damage and all that. So we're going to try to pay attention today to our oil temperatures, stuff like that, so that we hopefully will have we'll see if we can get there. Now, if we have any issues before we get here, we're going to come back right here to this airport, St. John the Baptist Parish Airport. I'm not sure how long it is, but if we have to, we're going to land there. Okay, that's our final point, at least there. If not, if we're already on our way, I don't think there's anything suitable the rest of the way. Once we're past there, we're committed, and we're going to either crash, good morning Joseph, or we're going to make it there one way or the other. Okay, that's the intent for today. We're going to try that and see how we get on. Okay. So a couple of programming notes. Schedule's up in the Discord. Got a lot going on between now and next Monday. So we've got a flight tomorrow, no flight Wednesday, so Wednesday's flight's bumped to Tuesday. Thursday we'll be back on Route 66. Friday we're gonna take off on the land and land on water. That seems to be the only workaround that I can find for the most part regarding our issues with the. We're gonna use the widgeon. The Grumman Goose has got all kinds of issues. Hopefully the one that's coming out here in a couple weeks is going to be far better than the one we have from Big Radials. I like the one we have, but it's just got too many issues with the engines. I can't keep the left engine started even on land. I taxi out and then the engine just quits on me. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know when there's going to be a fix, but we are getting another Grumman Goose, I believe, here in a couple weeks. So hopefully that one's going to be way better, way better than the one we have right now. Not flying this Saturday. Sunday we're going to do the flight from Long Island, the MacArthur Long Island Airport, which is near Amityville, where the Amityville horror myth started. We're going to head up to Boston Logan, not far from Salem, Massachusetts. Good morning, Mick. And then that'll be Sunday's flight. Monday we'll be in the A320 going from Frankfurt to Baia Mare. I'm probably butchering that name. It's in Romania. It's not. That's the closest airport to Transylvania, where Castle Dracula is, for our Halloween Day flight, and then we'll be back into the regular schedule going forward on Wednesday. So no flight Tuesday. Back on it to Wednesday in the Junkers 52. So I have to move everything that was supposed to take place last week is now this week, and on and on and on and on and on. So anyway, so we got that coming up. Had a great time. I don't know what I just did, but I almost goofed this up. Had a great time Saturday with Mick on the farm. We did five and a half-ish. Good morning, Bex. Nice to see you here. About 5.5-ish hours on Saturday on his farm. Got a lot done. It was a good time. So yeah, really enjoyed that, and flew with Scruffy last night on his flight stream over in Australia. I flew around in the F-14. No bridges to insult, unfortunately, but I did manage to find a few little um, areas there to kind of have some fun, and flew upside down for a while, just buzzing around. So it looks like everything's kind of stable. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays stable today, and we'll have a nice flight. I'll change the time. Now, what I've done already, hopefully this stays. I'm going to check, but I've already preloaded the fuel, loaded all the passengers. So I'm hoping that will stay. And we'll see once we get on our departure runway to get ready to skedaddle out of here. We'll wait a few more minutes. I don't know if anybody's going to join. So if not, it's fine. If anybody does, I think I put the matter of fact, there's the information. That's the so yeah, anybody can use that command if you want to fly with me. Just put exclamation point route. I think most every flight sim streamer uses that command to show the route. So anyway, yeah, so we're gonna get going here in a minute. Just see what else. Yeah, I really enjoyed Saturday. That was a lot of fun. That was quite a laugh there, and good to hear Amela. Amela's not here yet. What you talk about Amela for? Where's Amela at? I don't see Amela in the chat there, Joseph. Goodness gracious. So now Bex is now Amela, apparently, according to Joseph. Oh my goodness. Addies, what are you like today? Did yesterday like do you in or something with your FIFA? Or was it the cat? Oh my god. You can't keep track of who's in the chat now. I think the cat on the windowsill last night did him in. God. You know, Joseph, cats have a very good sense of balance. So, yeah, I think both. Yeah. The cat did you in. Can't keep track of what's happening in the chat. Calling Bex Amilla. Oh my goodness. Now Belle's gonna come in and say hi. You're gonna say hi, Bex. Anyway, yeah, a few more minutes and we'll get going. We'll load in and get ready to get out of here. Hopefully, I'm curious to see if I do this setup ahead of time, the weight and balance. I'm hoping that it populates in when we get on our we're right near our departure runway there. Either one of the sides. I think it's going to be this side is where we're going to come in from. I don't think it might be the other side, but that looks like dirt. That looks like a dirt road. So I'm thinking it's going to be over here. Is the actual taxiway. So anyway, yeah. Let's see what else is happening. I don't know what else. Yeah. So we'll see how the week goes. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to go from Baton Rouge on to I know I put it in the chat or in the Discord. It is Baton Rouge to Jack Brooks Regional. I don't think that's going to be a very long flight on tomorrow. But yeah, then we'll catch back up with the Route 66 stuff on Thursday. And then we'll get everything back on track next week, hopefully, barring any. But yeah, we're getting close to the 40th anniversary release. Knock on wood, fingers crossed, whatever you want to call it. that's not delayed for any reason. Sim update 11, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, no issues. Hopefully, I think everybody's keen on getting that DC3 and seeing how it goes. And some helicopters finally on the Xbox side. Not sure how that's going to go. We'll have to practice with that a little bit. And then we're getting some more gliders. Some are self-powered. It does have a little engine, so once you can, if you don't have any wind or whatever, any thermals to ride, you can switch on an engine and keep going for a little longer or something like that. But yeah, I think the DC3 is the one that most everybody's keen on. We are getting another airliner, A310, I think. Another Airbus, something like that. But I think the DC3 is the one. I know I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, I think we've chatted enough. We've waited long enough. Let's go ahead and get on here and make sure. Yeah, it's going to take. I got to practice with it first, Joseph. I don't know how the controls are going to be, so I have to see how it's going to go with the controller. It's going to take some practice, so but we'll do some stuff with that eventually. So we'll see how it goes. And I'll change the time here in a minute. Yeah. All right. All right, so let's get the time changed real quick first, so we're not flying in the dark and Addie's get scared. You know, we don't want them to freak out in the dark there. Ooh, there we go. That's perfect right there. Nice sunrise flight. All right. Altimeter should be all set. Let's see. What else do we got to do here? Let's get our first VOR DME tuned in on 113.95. Yeah, let's get that on, that on. All right, let's look at our weight to see if it transferred over. It did. Perfect. All right, excellent. I like it. Okay, so one of the things, since we have the failures on, we got to pay attention to all these dials over here. Okay, so if I inadvertently miss anything in the chat while I'm checking our gauges or anything, I apologize in advance. We're trying something a little bit new here today, so we can go ahead and turn off that taxi light. We don't need that. We can leave the landing lights on for right now. Ooh, yeah, let's get a shot of that while we're sitting here on the ground. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, really enjoyed flying over the Great Barrier Reef last night in the F-14. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. So, all right. Let's see, what other things do I got to do. I think we're all set. All right. Okay. I think we're all set to go. I don't think any. So apparently we did come in from a different direction. They had us lined up there, it looked like, to Taxi out onto the departure runway. Alright, let's go ahead and get going. Let's see how we do today. Comes the beep, 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 beep. There we go, and we're airborne. All right, and away we go. Clock is ticking as of now. We're keeping score. Up and away in the beautiful Junkers 52. All right, we're already picking up the signal. I like it. All right, we gotta get about 500 feet or above 500 feet before we can turn to the left there. All right, there we go. All right, let's get our landing lights off. Nice reflection of the sunlight, or the rising sun there on the front prop. All right, we are going on a heading of 285. We'll try that. Okay, let's get that up. These are all on the green right now. All right, and away we go. Let's just have a quick look outside here. Look at that. All right. Hello, Mela. I had pasta for dinner last night. Just plain old pasta, nothing exciting. Are you sure you're talking to Amela this time, Joseph? Not, not Bex? Oh, I'm never. I don't mean to give you grief, Joseph, but sometimes you, you just make it so. Oh my goodness. Anyways. There's rain coming your way today, Amila. It's been raining. It looks like it finally took a break, but it's been raining here since either late last night or early this morning. I know I went to bed about 11, and I don't think it was raining yet then, but so you got rain heading your way. All right, let's have a look at our gauges again real quick. Yeah. Hold on a second. What did Nick say? Oh, yeah. Looks like we're doing good so far. Making a steady climb. So kind of going back to last Monday's, a week ago's stream, where we made it with just barely enough gas, or we could have gone around if we had to, but what I forgot is that even though we're flying with just some clouds, right? Some clouds, that's our weather, right? We still have a headwind because generally the wind goes from the west to the east, so we're almost always flying into a headwind if we're heading to the west. So that's what we weren't going nearly as fast as we would have liked, but we were consuming more fuel to try to get there. I believe that was part of the problem. So let's go ahead and dial back our RPMs a little bit, we don't stress the engine too much. Yeah, see, now we're going to start to nose dive a little bit here. Oh boy. Boy, I just upset the balance of the plane by doing that by accident. Oh boy. I hope we're not having an issue of any kind, because now the plane's just like really way unbalanced. Alright. Yeah. If you hit the wrong, if you're at the wrong ambush site, you're gonna cause your aircraft to have all kinds of problems. Might have to actually fly this a little bit more manually today. Alright, see now it's yeah, it's like we're so you hit the rudder pedal, or you hit the rudder. I hit the one of the triggers on my controller, and it set off the, or we started turning dramatically, and so it upset the balance of the plane. So now I'm just trying to get it back on track here. So pardon me if I don't see anybody's chat. Either that or we've got some massive crosswind here. That's not helping matters either. Oh, wow, this thing really wants to nose over. And I've got it almost all the way trimmed to nose up, and it's wanting to nose down. That can't be a good sign. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to fly this a bit more manually now. That's okay, we can do this. We got this. Oh boy, this thing really wants to turn. Whew. Boy. See how different things are when you put all the failures on? Everything changes. We got about 14 nautical miles to our first nav point. Lightning was awesome. Well, that's good, Joseph. You weren't trying to hold your cat down while you were scared or nothing? Now, Joseph, I have a question for you. What is your cat's name? Just out of curiosity, what's your cat's name? The one that was in your jumping around in front of your camera and all that. Last night. Tyler. So why'd you call the... Instead of saying Tyler, you were going, hey, cat, cat, cat. Of course Tyler's not going to respond because Tyler is his name. I'm like, why is he calling him cat? Is that what he calls the cat? Cat? Because I thought I heard a name, but I wasn't sure. Because I know if somebody's just like, hey, you, I'm like, I don't know who you're talking to. Name of Mischief. Well, then why didn't you name him Mischief? Nine miles, 9 nautical miles. All right, we got to get our next VOR tuned in here. I cannot get this thing to climb. It just wants to sink over. I've got it. I wonder if I put a set of flaps down. Will that help? Help it climb. There we go. Nope, that's not doing it either. It started to, and then it... Well, this thing is all over the place today. I just needed to climb enough so that I can get the next VOR tuned in. So we're close to this one. Goodness, boy, this thing does not want to stay on track today. Must be right around here somewhere. All right, let's go ahead and... All right, let's see. Yeah, he gets up to no good sometimes. Yeah, 110.80. Wow, this thing just really wants to turn to the left today. All right, let's get this tuned in then. All right, heading of 238. We're going to go ahead and skirt that, I think. So that airport should... Oh, nope, that's not it. Well, at least we're climbing. That's the important part. All right, let's have a look at our gauges real quick. Green, green, green. Green, All right. All right, we're looking for... Okay, take care, Bex. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Nice to see you. I think that's our airport right. Is that an airport? That looks like an airport right there. Yep, that must be our airport to fly over with the VOR DME. Yeah, that's definitely a runway. All right. Well, I think we're finally kind of settling down here. Yeah, I think that's our airport we were meant to fly over, I do believe. Let's see if we can look at our... Nope, that is not it. Is it? We must have flown over... Nope, I see what we did, I think. Now I can't get this thing to turn to the left. It wants to go to the right. I think we turned a little bit early, but that's okay. So there's two airports in the area. There's one, and then there's a smaller one up here, I believe. That's a private one that actually has the VOR DME. Yeah, they share the same VOR DME. Alright. Well, let me get back to the chat in case anybody's making any comments or whatever that I need to address or answer or whatever the case may be. Alright, now let's see if we can get this thing, put the flaps back up. And of course, see, now it noses right back over. No, maybe not. Maybe now we can finally get it to... See, that's the crazy part. You finally get it to climb, and then it's like it wants to shoot up, and then you run the risk of stalling the aircraft, and we don't want to. Obviously, we don't want to do that, because that will have dramatic repercussions. Not of the good kind, neither. Is the 787 good? I don't know how to answer that, because I've only flown the 787 I think once or twice. It's all right, I guess, if you like all the startup stuff. I think it's all automated. Like, you could be sitting in the flight deck at the gate, get everything started up, push back. But you can do all the buttons yourself too. It's just a bit of a process. Just like any startup, if you're doing everything yourself, it's going to take time. But I don't know. I've not really been in it lately. Like, because it's so much plane, right? Because it's something you would fly across from like JFK to Heathrow or JFK to Frankfurt or something, right? It's a long haul plane. I don't know if it's been changed anyway. I think they've made some slight what do you call it? They've changed, like they've updated it here and there, but I don't. That's one of those base. Well, it's not a base plane. If you get like the high end edition, the whatever that is, I can't remember. It's the last. It's one that if you pay for the highest amount, I think it's I forget. Anyway, you get that with that. That's like one of the last few planes you get if you buy the deluxe, whatever, super deluxe, extra large size. I don't know. Anyway, so basically it's a stock plane from Asobo. There wasn't a lot of liveries. Now there are. You can get all kinds of different liveries. See, that's the thing. Just like with the A320, there wasn't a lot of liveries, and Four Simmers started coming out with stuff. Then Dream Scenery DC Scenery started coming out with stuff. Somebody F Soars comes out with stuff. Like, there's an oversaturation now of A320 liveries. So, but there are more that are, like real world sort of liveries for the 787, just like there are now for the 747. People are doing the work to create that sort of stuff. I gotta add a little heat to the. I gotta keep this in the green. So it's one of those planes that if you want to do long haul, it probably will work. But it's one of those, once you get it up in the air, you hit the autopilot buttons and everything, the plane will just fly itself the entire. I could not imagine trying to hand fly a 787 beyond takeoff and getting it to go the right direction and climb and everything before I hit the buttons. It would just be too much stuff to do. It would be too much to handle. So, but yeah, I think if that's something you want to do, is one of those long distance flights, it will work if you gas it all the way up and you got, however you want to do it, it'll give you, I guess, some sense of satisfaction, authenticity for a long haul flight. I just haven't been, like, I just don't have the time to do that sort of stuff. Like, it's too much for me. So yeah, I've not been in there. I don't know what if it's better than it was when the sim was first released, or if it's about the same, or if it's worse, or I really don't know. I think it's interesting because it's a 2-engine. It's supposed to replace the 747, I believe, because it's supposed to be more fuel efficient and all that. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure. Oh, thank you, Infidel Fireman, for the follow. I gotta go to bed. Thank you for the follow yesterday. Appreciate that. Infidel Fireman followed me just now. I just noticed that. I've got couple follows. I did mean to say thank you to I Gotta Go to Bed, who was in A Texan's stream yesterday when Texan was a bit lost in the Spitfire. I was trying to help him get found again in the air. That was a interesting trying to help him get some information to help him navigate, but yeah, good stuff. So thank you for the follows, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you to my subscribers also. Greatly appreciate that. You're welcome. Yeah, the jetliners, I don't have much of an opinion on them anymore, because I know initially that was what, I want to see you fly the jet. I think most everybody in the flight sim community would agree that the jetliners are okay, but they're kind of bland because you're not hand flying it. You're not, having to keep an eye on everything. You know, even if you have like the automated, or if you have like failures and stuff, yeah, you would have to keep an eye on stuff. But generally, there's redundant systems, and if one thing fails, something else comes on and takes its place, I guess, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't like, it's a spare it's very sparingly do I want to fly a jetliner now, because there's just so much general aviation stuff to fly. It's much more rewarding if we can fly from point A to point B, or A, B, C, D, E, whatever, with our VOR navigating. There's a bit more of a reward, I think, to it than just getting in the air, pushing a couple buttons, and then the plane just follows the path. It does help, like for streaming wise, yes, it does help to have that, so that the plane's kind of settled and you can actually fly hands free for a bit. Pop outside, that sort of thing. Be able to talk without paying attention, or having to look at the instruments all the time. So yeah, it's go ahead and lean it just a bit more. But yeah, it's but some people enjoy those long distance flights and doing the jetliner stuff. But it's a very time consuming thing, and it's if you take off in the 787, it's not like you're going to go from SFO to LAX, because it's like that's too much plane for a short flight like that. That's more like an A320 or an A319 or a 787, or even the Embraers or the CRJs. That's the sort of thing that a flight from San Francisco to LA would be a regional jet sort of thing. Or if you were flying SFO, you stop off at LAX and then you go on to, say, Dallas. It's like a stop along the way. Something like that. Yeah, otherwise it's just not, for me, it's not very practical to do all that, flying the jetliners. Except for like next Monday when we fly from Frankfurt. Because I was hoping to do, I was hoping there would be I think it's an Army airfield there near Heidelberg, which has a castle that hosts a really cool Halloween party there in Heidelberg. There's a castle. I don't remember the name of it. I'd have to look it up, but I think they used to. I don't know if they still do. Host a Halloween party there every year. It probably stopped during the pandemic, I would imagine. All right, so it looks like we're finally kind of settling down here in the aircraft. We're still got a little bit of a climb going on, but nothing. We're not nosing over. We're at our traditional cruising speed of 98 knots, which is where we should be at all times. But when we don't have the failure stuff on, we squeeze every amount of speed we can out of the aircraft. So we're operating right roughly where we need to be as far as our actual speeds are right now. So let's see how much we're 32. Okay. So that's the important part. We're doing things correctly. So as long as all of our gauges are roughly in the green or thereabouts. Let's see, our temps are in the green. No, it's in the green. And our temp over here still in the green. We can add a little bit more if we want. We can go to 30% on the make sure our engines stay warm, even though we don't have like the live weather on. The air is still cold at this altitude. It starts to cool down. So if we have keep our temperatures, keep an eye on them, then we'll be okay. But we'll see how that goes. We got 7 viewers. Thank you all for coming in, hanging out today on a Monday. Nice to see you all here. I'm sure we got some lurkers at work. Lurking and working. It's all good. Nice to have you along. Through the cloud here. All right, so our second VOR DME is about 29, just under 30 nautical miles away. We're going to cut across, I think this is Lake Pontchartrain. That should be the bridge going from Slidell over. That's the long bridge that goes over to New Orleans. I've been on that bridge. It is a very strange, it's a long bridge. You're over the water the entire time. It's not like you're very high up. But you're near the water the entire time, and some people it really freaks them out going over that bridge for that long. I mean, it's a pretty long haul across there. So, Joseph's going to ask you what you had to eat last night, Amilla. Prepare yourself. Prepare your answer ahead of time. Well, we're on our way. I think what I'm going to do is just take a quick little break here. I shall be back in just a moment, folks. If the airplane crashes, it's everybody for themselves. Good luck. Mella's probably getting ready for work too, Joseph. Wow, we are way off course here now. Yeah, it's about time for Miller to go to work or get ready for work. Got to catch a Miller a little bit early there, Joseph. Cottage pie. Ooh, that sounds good, Mick. Cottage pie. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. That does sound good, though. Yeah, you got to get a Miller quickly as soon as he comes in the chat, Joseph. About now, he's probably getting ready for work. Those are still in the green. We can probably go a little bit more since we're... Oops. See, there I go again. I hit that... that rudder just a smidge. You had some chicken thing. Well, that really narrows it down, Joseph. Well, I wanted to talk about something real quick. And I'm not trying to disparage anybody or anything. Young Joseph and Texan both yesterday. You guys cracked me up with the whole. I don't have a slick ending like Rob does or Uncle B does or whatever. You don't have to. Okay, you really don't. I'm telling you, you don't have to. Come up. The one thing I learned, and again, this is what I learned in radio production. If you speak from the heart, in any time that you're on the air, right, whether you're streaming or whatever, doing a podcast, whatever it is, if you're genuine in your entry when you start your podcast or your stream or whatever it is that you're doing, if you're relaxed then, right, and you're relaxed at the end, even though like right now some things can be very stressful because we have the failures on, we have the stresses enabled, right? So it does add an element of stress. Okay, now how I react to that is entirely up to me, right? That's the main thing. How I deal with it. It's like a shepherd's pie but made with beef. Oh, okay. Nice. But that's entirely up to me. Now, it's easy to get overwhelmed and go like, oh, this is all failing and it's not working and oh my God, like freaking out, right? It's easy to do that. But I try not to, because if I can figure out what the problem is and salvage the flight, then that's what I'd rather do, right? I'd rather try to keep things going. But if we fail, it's okay, because we learn from the mistakes, or we learn from, if we can go back and say, yep, if I looked at this is why this failed, right? So, but if I overreact to that and go like, oh my God, it's, end of the world, that doesn't solve anything, right? But if you're relaxed, you don't have to have anything like me, right? Just like people like, oh, the whole Daniel thing, that's mixed thing, right? Because he has that kind of voice that when he says it makes you laugh, right? But he's also appreciating the fact that Daniel's in his chat, right? So you don't have to have anything. All right, take care. Amila, before you leave, tell Joseph what you had for dinner last night so he doesn't worry. If you would, please, and thank you. He's a concerned young man about your eating habits. All right, you guys are about to get an ad. For those of you who are not subscribers, the ads are incoming. We'll pick up the conversation here once the ads are done. I don't think you're going to get your answer today, Joseph. Miller might be already out the door. All right, so coming up after we pass this VOR DME, we're going to turn on a heading of 2902 for our first RNAV point. Now we're not going to tune anything in. We're just going to turn on a 2902 heading, and we'll make our way to our nav point, and then we'll get ready to. Oh, the ads are playing right now. Sorry about that. We'll pick things up here in a moment. I think I may have overfilled the gas tank, but we'll see how. So we're only at 61%. We're doing really good on fuel. We'll have more than enough to get there, I believe. Waiting for that. Once I know the ads are done. But it must be a bunch of ads. Boy, I would have thought the ads. Okay, I'm guessing the ads are done. We'll pick up from here now. All right, so yeah, as I was saying before the ad run, come up with your own thing, right? That's the key. Find what I usually try to do, right? And for those of you who've been on my channel for some time, you know this bit of the story. But the key is finding something that you identify with, right? something that you, whether it's a TV show, something that kind of like, or a character, for instance, right? That you're like, oh, how am I trying to say it? There's lots of stuff out there in pop culture, references and movie lines and whatever, that you can kind of take and and make it part of your thing, right? Or for instance, Joseph, you like West Ham, so I'm sure they have a West Ham fight song, right? Or a motto or something. Incorporate that into your thing. No matter what you're doing, be proud of the fact that you're a West Ham fan, right? Even though, oh, you got some ice cream, nice. Even though people might give you grief for being a West Ham fan, if you say that motto or a bit of the part of the fight song that you really like or whatever, it doesn't matter what people might say, right? It's your thing. It's part of who you are. That's part of your life, that you are a West Ham fan, right? So you don't have to have something slick like me or whatever. Have your thing. Just like the whole Daniel thing. You don't have to have what Mick has. Have your own thing, right? It just takes practice. Just keep working at it. Find something that whether it's a movie character or your favorite football team, whatever, something about them that you're like, like if I was a Raiders fan, right? I would say commitment to excellence, or we're here on this channel, we're always committed to excellence, because if I'm a diehard Raider fan, that's part of their thing, is commitment to excellence, right? So incorporate that into your thing. Find something you're like, oh yeah, I like this or I like that. I'm gonna kind of utilize that. I use the original Wrath of Khan, not the remake with the newer Star Trek, the old one with the original characters, Kirk and Spock and all that. The whole, when Spock's dying there in the lithium crystal radiation thing there on the Enterprise, and he says, I have been and always shall be your friend, right? That's an emotional thing because Kirk was very close to Spock and Doc McCoy. They were the big three on the show, right? So if you have that sense of, you're like, oh, I like that, I want that to be part of my thing, you just kind of, you can add to it, change it up a little bit and make it yours, but not to the point that, you don't want to repeat the whole thing and then you get a copyright strike, right? Just, but most Star Trek fans identify with the whole peace, live long and prosper thing. I always liked Spock as a character. So the peace, live long and prosper thing always made sense to me. It's a nice, whether it's a greeting or a goodbye, right? There's ways to utilize that. Okay, so find that one thing that you're passionate about. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta get the 2902. Okay, I gotta make sure I go on the right heading here. Make it yours. Just like I was nervous as hell when I first got into the radio studio. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sitting there at this board and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what any of this stuff does. It's easy to be overwhelmed, all that, right? But after a while, you're just like, you got to keep working at it, and you get the feedback from your instructor, and you get your feedback from your fellow classmates of what they liked about your show and what you can improve on. And the one thing that one of my instructors always said was, you can tell when you smile when you're talking, and you can tell when you're not. That's the key. There's days where I'm not smiling, but I'm like, I gotta find a way to fake the funk to come in here and do a stream, right? There's plenty of days where I'm just like, oh, yeah, I'm miserable as all hell. But is that an excuse to cancel a stream? No, not really. I'd rather at least come in and entertain everybody, right? So I think what we're gonna do, pardon me real quick, folks. We're gonna come up here and go to, oh, you know what we can do? 11650. All right, let's tune into that. That should give us a, I don't know any other way to put it as far as our any way that I can help. Hey, Infidel, howdy howdy. It was nice flying with you last night. Nice to see you. Nice to get up in the air with you and Scruffy and the rest of the large crowd there over he said Alaska. I had to do a double take when I landed there, and I'm like, I'm trying to slow the plane down and get ready to taxi to a parking spot, and he says Alaska, and I'm like, wait, Alaska? Poor Scruff. So yeah, Infidel Fireman. I got it. I think let me pull up my other tab that has. Infidel Fireman is starting to on his streaming journey, as Scruffy called it last night. So he's new, he's up and coming. So do give him a follow over there on Twitch, if you would please, and thank you. Trying to get help get him some subs, some followers. So if you can, please go give him a follow and help him grow his channel. Greatly appreciate it, folks. Trying to pay it forward. Scruffy does that for me and lots of other people, and I try to pay that back, pay it forward as best as I can. You're welcome. Yeah, try to help you grow. It's that's one of the things that I think is really good about this community. We do try to help others, whenever we can. So yeah, not a problem at all. But yeah, it was a lot of fun last night. I was really happy that we didn't have any issues. Although after I landed, I popped out and I was watching Scruffy and I started nodding off. And I look at the time, I'm like, oh yeah, I better go to bed. I didn't even have the energy to say goodnight. I was just like, I'm out. Yeah, when it gets to a certain point, I just start nodding off, and I'm like, yeah, it's go to bed. So, yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Mick. Appreciate that. We'll do what we can to get you on the affiliate path there, Infidel. I have to add you to the shout-out list. Oh, thank you, Young Addies. And his cat, Tyler. Kitty cat, Tyler. All right. 35 nautical miles. So we need to start descending here a little bit. Get some altitude bled off here so that once we're on final approach, 043 is our final approach heading. We need to be at about 2,000 feet coming in, so we need to start bleeding off some altitude, something fierce here. But we don't need to go like zipping down towards the ground, right? We don't need to be diving for the hard deck or whatever you want to call it. We just need to be practical in our... don't say that, Joseph. No, I don't say you do anything. No, that's not... Nobody wants to hear that, Addies. My goodness. Because then people will be like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Infidel. Appreciate it. Glad to have you along, even if you're lurking. You're Joseph. Where do you come up with this stuff? Honestly, uh, yeah, you're right. It's better entertainment, that's for sure. Because you just never know what young Addie's going to say at any moment. All right, so just kind of recapping a little bit here. So what we've done today, we've got the failures on, we got the stress on the aircraft and everything enabled. So far, we've been pretty good. We had a bit of a tough time getting out of Gulfport and heading towards Baton Rouge today. But that's okay. It's fine. So we're now starting to descend here into Baton Rouge. What was I going to say? I kind of lost my train of thought. So we've got a RNAV approach, but we've got a bunch of different things that we can use to help us get on the ground if necessary. Although nothing super automated, we're going to still have to land manually, bring it in nice and easy, that sort of thing. So yeah, we're almost there. So this was supposed to take 2.5 hours or so, give or take, right? Based on the speed, the airspeed. Now it's technically we're only supposed to go 98 knots as the required cruising speed for this aircraft, but we've not had the system failures enabled, right? What we've been able to put on. We can get about 106, 107 knots per hour, right, on our airspeed. So, but we're not necessarily doing that. We've kind of followed that airspeed situation, basically. All right, let's see if we are close enough to our airport to call in for landing. Not yet. Farther out. Nope. Still kind of a long way to go. So that's what we're doing. I think we're doing pretty good so far. But it was a tough climb. Like the aircraft wanted to go all over the place today. So, but we're doing good. We're gonna bleed off some speed here, or not speed, some altitude, and then we're gonna get ready to land this thing. I will go ahead and put on the landing lights. So we're a well-lit aircraft. We'd like to be well-lit. Never dull mono, Joseph in the chat. So is it FIFA tonight, Mick, or is that tomorrow night? I heard Joseph talking about Tuesday night, but I wasn't sure if something had changed or if it's still tonight. Minecraft. Ooh, yes, Minecraft tonight. Nice, another nice chilled stream. I will be there for that, definitely. But I won't have any design input this time. I'll leave that to everybody else. I'll button up and be quiet. I don't want to take all the thunder away from everybody. All right, so we are. What is our frequency? We're on what now? 11650, and I know we have there is a localizer. Ooh, shit. Alright, so we must be getting close because I know when I was, by looking at Navigraph, it says Houston Center. Idkey. It's Ibecky. That's what it is. It's not Idkey. It's Ibecky. Alright. I should have... So there's not a... I don't see that localizer. Alright, so we must be... parallel if we turn. What did I say that heading was? 29902. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna... Pardon me for just a second, folks. I'm gonna... Oh, I'm very worried, Joseph. I am so worried that I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself today. I'm gonna be pacing back and forth till Mick goes live to wonder if you're there or not. Oh boy, Addies. Addies. What are we going to do with you, young man? There it is. Up. Little crusty salute. We're not going to do a left base. We're just going to go straight on in. You know what? I could probably find out. Let's go back here to this. Back. ILS 0. Oh, so it would be ILS, it would be opposite of 04, it would be 22, right, I think? Yeah. .108.7. Let's tune that in. Even though it's not at the... We're not coming in on... 7. Alright, so we got to turn. So we're almost lined up with the runway as it is. So we got to turn. That needle's pointing us in that direction. So as long as we get back on that needle, and we should bound to be a heading of 043. Be our final. Yep. So we're going to dial that in here. We'll be right back in the chat there in just a moment, folks. Pardon me. See, it's saying it's right ahead of us. I think we're quite... Let me look at the... Alright, I see the water. We gotta go back this way a bit. We were turning too early there. So I see... Okay, there's all those snaking of the river. We got to go back this way just a bit and then come in. Then we can turn in. Got to pass this part up here. Looks like. All right, hold on a second, folks. Let me just try to get a grip on where we are. Oh, wait a minute. So we gotta go. All right, so our airport is roughly. There's that. Our airport is over there to the starboard side, over that way. So we need to go. All right, if we stay this way, we should be fine. Should have like almost a parallel. We should be almost there when we get ready to turn. All right, let me get back to the chat here. Sorry. Okay. We can go ahead and drop some flaps so we start slowing down a little bit here. We don't want to climb. We want to drop altitude still. Hey, Super Typhon, how are you? Nice to see you here. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. Hope you're well today on a Monday. We are coming into Baton Rouge, Louisiana, here shortly. I'm just getting my bearings, trying to get my know where we are in relation to everything. A little bit to the left of where just woke up. Oh, okay, nice. Well, good morning. All right, so we just need to go to the right just a bit more. So yeah, we're just getting ready to land here. We'll wrap things up for the day as soon as we're on the ground and get things parked. The aircraft shut down. Now we gotta, now that we're coming out of altitude, we need to start dialing this back a bit. 25. We don't want to overheat the engine now that we're coming out of the higher altitudes. Alright, so our airport should be, I think it's just on the other side of those clouds. Alright. there's that, and then it goes up that way. So we need to split that. And that should be that. Little island there. Yep, there's that. And then, so we should be turning here in just a moment. There's a plant there. That's that. Alright, so yeah, we're almost there, folks. Alright, there we go. Now we can start turning in for our approach there, I do believe. We're going to follow that needle right there. We're not going to pay attention to the other stuff. We're going to follow that needle more than anything. I'm going to get on the other side of these clouds here. Alright, sorry about that. I'm trying to get back to the chat here. That's what happens when you're trying to do everything on a little laptop. You need a larger laptop screen or something. So it's easier to bounce between windows. Alright, there's our pattern entry over there. So we're almost there. So yeah, there we go. Alright, we got it now. Little sky vector charts always come in handy. I can't recommend it. Now don't sign up for anything with sky vector. Use it. Don't create an account or anything because you're not a real pilot. Unless you are, don't sign up for create an account because it's not meant for sim pilots. But if you just go to the website, you can plug information in, and you'll be a lot better off for it. So you can know your headings and all that. You can look around and say, oh yeah, I see this river here, this waterway, whatever. You can kind of get a better lay of the land with that. It always helps. Can't go wrong with it. Over on the Discord, there is a link to all the stuff that I use for my flight simming. The little tricks and whatever you want to call them. Airlock Doc did point a lot of them out to me that I didn't know about, like the whole finding out which runway to choose based on the weather. So if you're departing or landing, it'll give you an idea of what's your best runway based on the wind, so you know which way to take off and which way to land. Yeah, we're in the last full week of October already. I can't believe it. It's crazy. Not the best approach that we had coming in. I think I did start to turn in early, but we made up for it. We're fine. Let's go ahead. 10%, just to keep a little bit of heat in the carbs there, the carburetors. All right, so what we're going to try to do again, folks, is we're going to try to come in kind of flat, right? That's what we've been doing. Try to bleed off some more of this altitude here. I see the lights there at the end of the runway. Right over there. So yeah, we're not going to fly the downwind. We're just going to get right on to approach here. Oh, you're back. Oh, you're here just in time for the landing there, Infidel. I'm going to come on in and set it down. Yeah, I do like SkyVector because I can supplement my flight plan. I can find, between that and Navigraph, I can find approaches into the airport based on the runway that we're picking. So if there's a ILS approach or whatever, we can use that information to help us land. Because technically, even though this VORs are listed under VFR flying, it is an instrument type of flying because you are relying on your instruments. So from what I understand, it is considered an instrument flight rules sort of flying. Yeah, we didn't use as much fuel as I thought we would. We still got to come in a little bit flatter here. I don't want to. All right, let me get on the ground here, folks, and I'll catch up with the chat in here in just a moment. I do apologize if I miss any comments, questions, concerns, shenanigans. If you have any questions, my senior mod Mick be happy to try to answer them for you. Ooh boy, I'm getting some sound stuttering. Wow, this thing really does not want to. Trying to get more altitude bled off here. We're coming in at too steep of an angle if we wait too much longer. All right, there we go. So if Mick doesn't know the answer, he'll say wait for Rob. For those of you who are new to the channel. Oh, somebody's on Discord. A message, I think. Somebody posted something in somebody's Discord. Have a look here in a minute. that's how we want to come in. A little bit flatter if we can. All right, little bump coming up, folks. Little bump, little bump, little bump. Here it comes. There we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Local time is 7:51 in the morning. We understand and appreciate the fact that it's Monday. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, Super Typhoon. Thank you. Appreciate that. We're just going to go ahead and let the plane kind of come to a slow down on its own. We'll turn around here in a moment and head back towards our parking spot. So yeah, good stuff. And yeah, everybody's got stuff going on Mondays, but we appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK. We're going to depart from here and head further west. We're going to head over towards Texas, if I'm not mistaken. The eastern part of Texas. No stream this Wednesday. Thank you, Joseph. Oh, oop. All right, let's get that turned off. All right. Taxiing on. There we go. I guess we'll go to the gates then. How about that? Wear my Stetson for that one. Why would we go across them? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, yeah. Okay. Get the RPMs up here. Yeah, that worked out rather well. When we took off, it was a bit of a strange start to the flight, but we made it. That's the important part. We didn't panic. We didn't lose sight of the bigger picture here. So good stuff. So yeah, apparently this runway is no longer in use. It's got the big old X's, so I think that runway is not in use at all. Yeah, it was good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. I like it when a flight comes together. Uh-oh. Why does it feel like there's a bit of a... It feels a bit rough on the ground. Well, at least we're on the ground, so if anything fails on us, at least we're already here. That's the important part. You know what I wonder? Hold on a second. Let's check something here. Let's go ahead and get these dialed back down to 0. Don't want to overheat the engine, the carburetors while we're on the ground. I think we can go ahead and... Alright, there we go. So we're going to come in at a weird angle here since Apparently they don't have general aviation parking here. I don't know why. Come on, plane. Get a move on. There you go. Ooh, crap. No. I don't want you to turn on your own. What are you doing? What was that all about? It was like the plane wanted to go its own way. I don't know. It's crazy sometimes. It's got its own agenda. We got to come way wide here since the jetway's right there. There we go. Alright, we'll park it right there. Okay, let's shut it down. Let's turn our lights off. Alright, and the engines are off. There's one, and there's two. Alright, look at that. An hour 25. I like it. We made it. No issues, really. A little bit sketchy there at the beginning. It was, not going to lie. But we did all right. I like it. So let me put in my thing over here on the Firefly Air. Get some more hours here. Anchors 52. And there it is, and we took off from KGPT, and that was at 11:21, and we arrived at KBTR at 12:47. Submit. All right. So yeah, there we are. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. It was all right. It wasn't spectacular. It was good. Nothing to write home about yet. But we made it. Nothing failed. We kept an eye on our instruments. That's the important part. We learned a little bit. Kept looking at our stuff. Adjust accordingly. That's the important part. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow in the Ukers 52. We'll keep this setting for tomorrow just to see how we get on. Hopefully we will have another awesome flight tomorrow. No significant issues. So I will see you all then. 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK. Now don't forget, I think on the 7th of November. Let me look at the calendar because we are getting ready to change time here in America on the 6th. I think it is. Yep, the 6th. I'm sorry, not the 7th. The 6th of November. We go back an hour. We fall back an hour. So we'll adjust accordingly until everybody else catches up. So it's fine. Just want to give you a heads up on that. So I will adjust the time accordingly for that week once we're there. So anyway, yeah, do enjoy the rest of your Monday morning, afternoon, evening, early Tuesday. You never know. It's possible. Those tricky time zones, they can always get you when you least expect it. Until tomorrow, I have been and always shall be your host and pilot. Peace, live long and prosper. Oh, pilot, Uncle B. I almost forgot my name. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until tomorrow, peace, live long and prosper. You're welcome, young addies.